All right, let's get going. So for this drawing, I actually had a pretty clear idea of what I wanted in my head, and not even in my head. I had looked up the basilisk lizard. It was a challenge to do for an online drawing community, and so I looked up these basilisk lizards, and they're the ones that can kind of run over the water. Their feet are just so large, and their toes so large, and they got some pads in between them. They just run on water. They're also called Jesus lizards, which are kind of cool. And I'd looked them up, and I kind of had an idea of what I was going for here. I liked this triangle-shaped head. I liked these fins coming off of the back. I wanted kind of this thin neck, but these folds. I love the folds of the skin and this jowl type of thing going on there, that triangle jowl. So you see pretty quickly the drawing coming together about what I was imagining and what I was kind of picturing. This was the shape I wanted to do. I liked this silhouette. I liked these thin arms. They're this thin front leg, very, protuberant, very bony, and I kind of wanted to just get that. I had looked at the head and seen that the jaw, even the mouth, kind of extended way back farther than even the eyes, and I really kind of liked that and wanted to kind of play up that a little bit. And these folds in the neck, wanted to make sure I got those. So really just taking that inspiration, using those images that I found, those Google, it was just nature video image type of thing. I mean, just Google image search and the actual basilisk lizards, kind of using that as an inspiration, which is great. You're never going to go wrong using nature as an influence. Like there's already so much variety and already so much shape, and the organic nature of it all, it's gorgeous. So really some beautiful stuff going on there to use. So that's what I was doing there. And then just kind of letting design sense take over from there, looking at the negative shapes going on, that front frill on the top of his head to the back when there's a nice negative shape going on there. And then so you have a small fin, a medium fin on the top of his head, then a larger fin along his back, and then back to a kind of a medium fin on his tail. Those types of shapes. Trying to keep this one fairly organic, lots of curves to this guy, a lot of round shapes. I'll add some straights in the arms and some different things just to give it a little solidity, but mostly I wanted this guy to be very sinuous and curvy, very, snake-like, even though he's got those feet, but I wanted that. Playing around with the feet there, trying to get those toe shapes to be kind of fun and interesting, even if it's just a silhouette, and I wanted those long fingers kind of coming out, those long, thin fingers to something a bit more protuberant, and then the feet obviously have to be nice and long and thin. Looks like he's stepping on his own toes there a little bit, but that's all right. I'm okay with that. And then going in, just trying to get a bit of the decoration on him. I added some spots or some different things, of the ribbing on the frills of his back, just some different things to break up that shape. I've got that big shape going on, but let's break that up a little bit, even for some visual interest. And then folds, you'll have areas that have folds versus areas that are tight along the bottom of the tail there. Adding some shading into, some visual interest, some differentiation of the shades and things like that. Pulling that other leg out just for the silhouette again, and just pushing it back, just some light shading. It's there. Don't need to go in and do all of the detail for it. And I'll keep going back to that eye and to that face, like I've said in previous drawings. You really want the viewer's eye to go there. And so you have a lot of contrast there in the face, in the eyeball, and the mouth, and all that, so that the eye of the viewer naturally goes back to it. And you want the movement of the drawing to keep leading you back up to it, but you want that visual contrast to be there. So that's where the eye is going through, adding just a bit of, this lizard, he has a lot of extra skin, and, like you see in those lizards that they kind of have it bunched up a little bit, or it's, it bunches around the tail or around the arms and things like that because they have this extra skin, and I wanted to get that feel for it in there. And then going in, a bit more detail, the ribbing on that, trying to make it look just pretty fun, and then I decide, hey, what if he had another pattern in this frill of his, kind of carried over from the Dimetrodon that I had done earlier. I thought, I kind of like that. I'll keep it very simple, keep it very light so it doesn't draw too much attention, but I wanted some of that visual interest there for him. And yeah, just going in, doing the final details, the final colors, maybe a bit more detail on some things, a bit more patterning, the stripes along the tail, and then the patterning in the frill, and the spots along the back. Just all these different things to just kind of push him a little bit and punch it. And then those dark solid lines on the feet to really kind of ground him. Get him going, some scales going in there just for a bit of texture into the drawing. Got a feeling to it. What's going on? You know, some shading at the bottom of the arms and legs. Darken that up. A little hook on his tail just for fun. Final details. Going around the mouth once more. Get some really nice hard lines to pop it out a bit more. And there you go. Thanks for watching today's drawing. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment at the bottom if there's something specific you want to see drawn, and maybe it'll make it into a future video.